My child, I saw how much you gave, how you loved them when you barely knew how to love yourself, how you kept hoping that maybe this time they would stay, that maybe this time they'd see your worth. But I need to tell you something now. They didn't leave peacefully, and it wasn't just their silence that stayed behind. They left behind something else, a weight, a wound, a soul tie, one that still lingers when you try to rest at night, one that whispers shame in the quiet moments. This is not just heartbreak. This is spiritual residue, and it has tried to convince you that you are unworthy of peace. But I'm here now to take that lie off your shoulders, to wash away what they left behind, because you were never meant to carry this, not the blame, not the guilt, not the memory of how it all unraveled. You were not the one who poisoned the love. You were the one who stayed honest, but they couldn't handle honesty. So they took from you, then blamed you for being empty. And the worst part, you believed them. You thought maybe you weren't enough. Maybe your love was too deep. Maybe your light was too much. But hear me now. You were not too much. You were sacred. And they didn't know how to treat something sacred. So they left. But what they really did was run from their own reflection. And now you've been wondering, why does the memory still ache? Why do you feel tension in your spirit when their name comes up? Why do you feel guilt when you were the one who gave the most? Because the wound wasn't just emotional, it was spiritual. They left behind a curse of confusion, not because they had power, but because they touched what was holy and walked away without reverence. But I'm breaking that now. I'm speaking into the place they walked out of, and I'm declaring peace. Be still. That spiritual fog you've been living in, it lifts now. That heaviness you couldn't name, it breaks now. You are not cursed. You are chosen. And no human rejection can cancel a heavenly calling. You will start to feel it. A lightness in the room. A moment of unexpected calm. A stillness in your chest that you haven't felt in months. That's me, moving through your memory, healing what words never could. You will notice something small, a number, a color, a scent. It will come at the right time. You'll pause and wonder, was that a sign? Yes, it is. Watch for 3:33, on a clock, on a receipt. In a moment when your heart feels still again, that's how you'll know my peace is returning. Because I promised you this, your peace is being restored. Even if they never say sorry. Even if they never see the damage they caused. You will rise. You will glow again without guilt. You will smile again without pretending. You are not too broken to be healed. You're not too far gone to be chosen again. I am still choosing you, right now, in this moment. And if your spirit is still listening, then let me keep speaking to you. Let me keep healing what they couldn't handle. Subscribe to this channel. If this message touched you, let me keep guiding you, not through fear, but through love. You don't have to walk through this pain alone anymore, because I never left. Even when they did, I stayed. And now I speak life into the ashes. You will dream again. You will love again. You will trust again. Not because they come back, but because I come closer. They never had the power to define your future. They just triggered the healing I had already planned. And when you feel it, that moment of release, of breakthrough, of sudden clarity, say this phrase out loud. Freedom 1212. Because 1212 is not just a number. It's the gate opening. It's the soul being untied. It's the curse being reversed. You are stepping into clarity now. Your emotions are not too much for me. Your anger doesn't scare me. Your confusion doesn't disqualify you. I can handle all of it, and I am holding all of you. Even the shattered pieces, even the parts you don't show anyone, even the parts you think are unlovable, they are mine. And I'm not afraid to touch what others walked away from. This is not just a message. This is a rescue. Because that curse, it ends tonight. I will not let it follow you into the next chapter. I will not let it infect your next love. I will not let it live in the house of your heart any longer. You are being made clean from the inside out. And the one who left you confused will not have the final word. I will. And my word over you is this: you are free. I need you to hear me. They didn't just leave. They left a mark. One that tried to bury your beauty. One that told you to hide your light. One that whispered you weren't lovable unless you performed. But that mark, it wasn't from me. That was a bruise placed by someone too broken to receive your wholeness. You didn't fail them. They failed to rise to your level. And instead of growing, they chose to ghost you. They didn't walk away in peace. They walked away in pride. And the spirit that walked out of your life tried to stay hidden in your memories. It keeps replaying the last words, the unanswered texts, the haunting quiet. But I came to tell you, that spirit has no more access to your future, because I'm cleansing your memory, not erasing it, but rewriting what it tried to mean. You will no longer hear their name and feel shame. You will no longer revisit the past and question your value, because I am revealing what they truly were. Not a soulmate, a soul lesson. You asked for purpose, so I sent exposure, not to punish you, but to awaken you. You thought the pain meant you failed, but no, the pain meant you were growing. The pain meant the lie had to be burned off your spirit, because you started to believe you weren't enough, started to think you were hard to love, but you are not hard to love. You were just trying to love someone who hadn't even learned to love themselves. And now you're here, still standing, still breathing, still hoping, even through the heartache. That's the proof. The curse didn't work. It tried. It tried to make you numb, tried to make you chase closure, tried to make you define yourself by what they walked away from. But I stepped in, and now I speak. No more reliving what tried to destroy you. You are not stuck in the cycle anymore. You've learned the lesson. You've cried the tears. You've begged for answers. But you don't need their apology to heal. You only need my word. And I say this now. You are not tied to that chapter anymore. There's still a trace of them. A shirt. A song. A message you haven't deleted. I know. And I'm not rushing you. But soon, you'll feel the courage to let it go. And when you do, the spirit behind that attachment will break for good. You'll feel it, not just emotionally, but physically. Your chest will lighten, your sleep will deepen, your thoughts will finally quiet. Because I am not just healing your memories, I'm removing the residue, the bitterness, the obsession, the shame, gone, and in its place, peace. Peace that doesn't beg, peace that doesn't replay, peace that speaks louder than the silence they left you with. Someone will come across your path soon. They'll remind you of who you were before the pain. They'll speak to your healed heart, not your hurting one. You'll recognize them not by their words, but by their calm. And when you feel that calm, write this in the comments. Release 1444. Because 1444 means divine order is being restored after spiritual chaos. You will no longer live under emotional disorder. Your mind is aligning. Your heart is steadying. your spirit is rising. And yes, they will notice. They'll scroll past your name and feel the shift. They'll sense the door is closed. But it's not anger. It's peace. And peace doesn't argue. Peace doesn't go back and forth. Peace just walks forward. And that's what I'm asking of you now. Walk forward, even if it still stings. Even if the memory still pulls. Even if the nights still echo with their absence. Because every step you take is breaking the chain. Every breath you release is healing the ache. And soon, you will look at your reflection and not see their absence. You'll see my presence. You'll see the way I stayed. You'll feel the way I filled the gap. You'll know you were never truly alone. They left, but I stayed. And now I'm rebuilding you. Not into who you were, but into who you were always meant to be. Before they broke your trust. Before they lied about who you were. Before you questioned your own light, just to hold on to theirs. You are more than their goodbye. You are more than their confusion. You are more than the version of you who waited for answers that never came. Now it's time. Time to release it. Time to reclaim yourself. Time to rise again. Because you didn't just survive the curse. You outlived it. You didn't notice it at first. But the confusion started to creep in. Little by little. You couldn't tell if it was you or if something spiritual had been left behind. That's how curses work. They come in quiet, like fog over a city. You wake up and can't quite see the way forward anymore. And you blame yourself. You blame your emotions, your faith, your sensitivity. But I'm here now, and I'm pulling the fog back, because what they left behind was never yours to carry. They left confusion, because they were confused themselves. They didn't know how to hold your heart, so instead, they handed you chaos. They handed you mixed signals, inconsistency, half-truths that felt like love but acted like control. And now your heart has been trained to flinch, even when peace comes. But listen to me, peace is safe now. You don't have to scan every sentence for hidden motives. You don't have to read between the lines of silence. You don't have to pretend to be smaller just to be safe. The one who made you doubt your clarity, they were carrying a spirit of deception. And I allowed it to be revealed, not to hurt you, but to show you what was not me. Because anything that strips you of peace was never sent by heaven. I will never send someone who makes you question your worth every other day. That's not how love speaks. That's how manipulation hides. So I stepped in, even though it broke your heart. I preserved your purpose. And now I'm putting the pieces back together. One truth at a time. One breath at a time. Because the curse didn't just attack your heart, it targeted your identity. It made you question your gift, your voice, your place. But I speak over you now. You are not broken. You are beautiful, strong, whole, worthy. And yes, someone real will see that in you. Someone who doesn't play tug of war with your emotions. Someone who speaks clearly, loves gently, stays consistently. But first, we break the lingering hold, because this is more than closure. This is cleansing. You will notice something this week. A sudden release of emotion, a memory that used to sting, will pass like a breeze. A name that used to shake you will no longer have power. That's how you'll know I'm finishing the work. You'll even begin to dream differently. No more torment dreams. No more strange messages from the past. No more night visions that drain your soul. I am sealing the gates of your spirit and opening a new door. So when that moment of release happens, when the memory no longer grips you, Say this aloud. Clear 7777. Because 7777 is the number of spiritual cleansing and divine completion. When you speak it, you're giving me full permission to finish the deliverance. You're saying, I let go. I choose peace. I break every hidden agreement I made with pain. And you will feel it, like a weight sliding off your chest, like light coming through a window you didn't know was covered, like silence, but without the ache. Because silence is no longer your enemy. It becomes your sanctuary now. No more overthinking. No more going back and forth. No more hoping they'll suddenly change. You are not tied to potential anymore. You are tied to purpose. And purpose doesn't beg. Purpose doesn't shrink. Purpose doesn't keep you guessing. Let me say this gently. You never needed them to complete you. You needed the wound they left to reveal what still needed healing. And now that healing is here, your emotions may still feel raw. That's okay. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to grieve what could have been. But you are not required to stay in mourning. I am calling you forward, and that means no more checking their page, no more wondering what they're doing, no more hoping for one last message to make it make sense. You are done waiting for closure from the same door that broke you. I already closed it, and what's behind that door is no longer your business, because what's ahead of you is being prepared with care. Heaven is placing the right people, the right timing, the right peace. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you haven't even entered yet, and you will soon feel the atmosphere shift. Where things once delayed, now they flow. Where things once strained, now they feel easy. Because when curses break, blessings don't trickle, they pour. And I'm not giving you recycled love. I'm giving you redefined identity. You are not someone who was left. You are someone who was lifted. They walked away, but I stepped in, and now I walk with you. All the way into healing, all the way into new love, all the way into freedom. Because your story doesn't end with what they left behind. It begins with what I'm building in you now. I watched it happen. They didn't just break your heart. They tried to strip you of your identity. They made you feel like too much, like your love was inconvenient. Your honesty was exhausting. Your standards were a burden. So you began to dim bit by bit. You stopped asking for clarity. You stopped expressing your feelings. You told yourself, maybe if I stay quiet, they'll stay. But staying silent didn't keep them, and losing your voice didn't keep the love. Because they never came to cherish you. They came to take. And when they couldn't take anymore, they left. But I didn't. I stayed. I stood right there in the silence that followed, in the ache that lingered, in the confusion that kept spinning in your chest. And I whispered what they couldn't say. You are not too much. Your depth is not a defect. Your love is not a weakness. Your desire to grow, to feel, to see clearly, that is not a flaw. It's evidence that you're mine. You're not here to beg for crumbs. You're here to carry glory, and you will. But first, let me restore what they tried to tear apart. I am rebuilding your voice, your strength, your glow. You used to smile and mean it, and you will again. Because what they couldn't handle in you was the light they didn't carry themselves. You weren't too heavy. They were too hollow. And now I'm pouring into you again, filling what they drained, lifting what they crushed, healing what they mishandled. Your laugh is coming back. Not the forced one, the real one. The one that bubbles up from a rested spirit. You'll wake up one morning soon and notice something different. No ache, no pull. no desire to check who's watching, and you'll breathe deeper. That's me. That's what peace without performance feels like. That's healing without their approval. And it's only just beginning. You've been afraid to move on, not because you're still in love with them, but because part of you still questions, was it me? Let me answer that. No, it wasn't you. You didn't fail them. You were the mirror they refused to look into, and your reflection scared them, because it showed their lack of growth, their lack of presence, their lack of love, and instead of rising, they ran. And now, I rise in you. I rise in your spirit. I rise in your identity. I rise in the way you start saying no without guilt. Because boundaries are not rebellion. They are protection. You're no longer required to carry relationships that carry confusion. You're not called to save people who crucify your clarity. You are chosen. And chosen people walk differently, talk differently, love differently. That's why you felt so alone after they left. Because their exit was an announcement. Heaven is shifting your circle. And now I'm aligning you with those who don't just want your energy. They protect it. They pour back. They pray when they don't understand. They don't flee when it gets heavy. And the new you, you'll know how to receive it. Without fear. Without testing it. Without sabotaging it. Because the curse is breaking. Not just around your heart, around your identity. You are not too emotional. You are not too intense. You are not too expressive. You are not too much for the person I've prepared. And soon, you will walk into a space where you feel none of the anxiety, only presence. And when that moment comes, write this. Whole 3003. Because 3003 is the number of soul level restoration. Your soul is returning to wholeness. Your heart is no longer in fragments. You're not living in reaction anymore. You're living in truth. And truth doesn't twist itself to fit someone's comfort. Truth walks boldly. And now, so will you. You will no longer fear love. You will no longer idolize pain. You will no longer rehearse their version of the story in your mind. Because I am giving you my version. The one where you survived. The one where you stayed kind. The one where you didn't lose yourself completely. You held on, even when it hurt. Even when the nights got long. Even when everyone told you to just move on. But your soul still ached. That ache wasn't weakness. It was your spirit telling you something was unfinished. And now, I'm finishing it. The emotional loop is closing. The soul tie is snapping. The residue is washing off. And what remains is you. Unmasked, unapologetic, unmoved by who left. Because your story is not about abandonment. It's about alignment. They walked out, but purpose walked in. And now I'm sending you a sign. Something tangible, a letter, an open door, a divine confirmation at just the right time. It will carry your name. It will come with peace. And when it comes, you'll know this is not coincidence. This is restoration. Let me tell you the truth. The curse wasn't just about heartbreak. It was sent to stop your calling, to break your focus, to drain your fire, to delay what you were born to build. Because the enemy doesn't waste time on what isn't powerful. They didn't just hurt you, they targeted you. Because even hell could see the light on your name. So it sent distraction, wrapped in false comfort, packaged as a partner, but poisoned with confusion. And you thought it was love because you were willing to give the benefit of the doubt. You were willing to wait, to grow, to fight for it. But they weren't fighting back. They weren't building with you. They were pulling you out of position. And now, as you look back, You can see it. How far it took you from your center. How much it cost just to stay connected to someone who was spiritually disconnected from me. But hear me, nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted. I will restore the time. I will repay what was stolen. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You only need to come back into alignment, because the curse didn't just aim for your heart. It aimed for your destiny, but it failed. You're still here, still standing, still growing, still listening. And now, you are no longer broken. You are becoming bold. Your tears have turned to discernment. Your grief is birthing greatness. Your confusion has become clarity. Because when I restore, I don't just return what was lost. I elevate. You were once hoping for love. Now you are called to lead. You were once begging for peace. Now you are becoming the voice of calm in other people's storms. You will rise in ways that make others question how, but you'll know it wasn't you. It was me. You'll walk into rooms you once only prayed about, and this time, you won't shrink, because you've walked through fire and came out wiser. You're not timid anymore. You are not desperate for validation. You are not waiting for someone to notice you, because I already did, and I'm positioning you for more impact, more purpose, more truth. And when it starts to manifest, and it will, you'll say the phrase, "I've been preparing for you." Victory 9111. Because 9111 means emergency reversal. It means sudden divine intervention. It means what was meant to kill you will now carry your crown. That heartbreak, it was the final push. That silence, it was my strategy. Because you heard me clearer without the noise. You remembered who you were when they walked away. You saw that you were never the broken one. You were the blessed one. And now, the blessing will show in your eyes, in your words, in your walk. People will ask, "What happened to you?" And you'll say, "Heaven happened." You'll find yourself speaking with new authority, praying with fire, walking with power, because the pain became oil, the betrayal became birth, and the silence became strategy. Even the way you move now, it's different. You don't chase. You don't cling. You don't carry what's not yours. You've been retrained in the spirit. Now I can trust you with more. Because now, you don't need to be seen. You just need to be sent. And I'm sending you into divine places, into healed relationships, into rooms where your light unlocks others. You won't have to perform. Your presence will speak for itself, because this is anointing, not perfection, not pretending, not pain management, anointing. And it was born in your lowest moment. You've cried in silence long enough. Now you will laugh in fullness. I will send joy. Joy that bubbles up unexpectedly. Joy that doesn't ask permission. Joy that overflows without a reason. Because you were born for joy. Born for freedom. Born for divine connection. And the one who tried to curse you, they don't have the authority. Because I already ruled in your favor. Heaven has signed off on your release. The record has been cleared. The soul tie has been severed. The blessing has been scheduled. And very soon, you will receive a message. It will carry favor. It will carry shift. It may come as a yes, or an invitation, or an unexpected open door. And when it comes, say this aloud. This is my reversal. Because the pain that tried to bury you just became your platform. You are not walking into a comeback. You are stepping into a crossover. From heartbreak to healing. From delay to destiny. From overlooked to appointed. You were never cursed. You were covered. You've come so far. You don't always see it. But I do. I see how much you've healed. Not just in public, but in private. I saw the night you finally deleted their number and didn't cry. I saw the day you passed by the place where they laid and didn't flinch. That is healing. Not always loud, but always real. And now that the curse is broken, now that the name no longer holds you, I can begin the part you've been waiting for. The love you truly deserve. Yes, real love. Not the kind you have to chase. Not the kind you have to fix. Not the kind that comes with conditions and confusion, but the kind that was crafted in my presence. The kind that sees you without asking you to shrink. The kind that speaks clearly, walks humbly, and stays faithfully. But listen, I can only give you that. When you stop settling for what I never sent, that's why I had to remove them. That's why I allowed the silence. That's why I let the connection die. Because it was taking up space. Space meant for something sacred. And I know you thought you could heal them. You thought your love would be enough. But you were never meant to play savior. That's my role. You're not called to carry someone who won't even confess their wounds. You're called to be loved in truth. And the truth is this: you are already lovable. You are already enough. Already beautiful. Already worthy of gentle hands and clear intentions. But the curse tried to convince you otherwise. Tried to tell you you were hard to handle. That you were asking for too much. That love was supposed to hurt a little to mean something. But I never told you that. That's not my voice. My voice says, love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not dishonor you. Love does not vanish when it gets hard. The love I'm preparing for you, it doesn't hide. It doesn't ghost. It doesn't manipulate. It will feel like rest. And when it arrives, you'll know. Because you won't feel pressure to perform. You won't feel tension in your chest. You won't feel like you're holding your breath, waiting to be chosen. You'll already know you're seen. And until then, I want you to stay open. Not desperate. Not rushed. Open. Because I've already chosen someone for you. They're healing too. They've walked through their own fire. And just like you, they've been waiting for something real. So don't run ahead of me. Don't try to force it. You don't need to find them. You just need to find yourself fully again. And as you do, I'll align it. I'll orchestrate the meeting. I'll whisper the moment. I'll confirm it with peace. You'll feel it like a softness in your chest. A quiet knowing. A moment that doesn't have to be earned. And when that moment comes, I want you to speak this. Open 8228. Because 8228 is the number of divine preparation meeting divine alignment. It means heaven is opening what was once blocked. It means you are ready now. Ready for love that honors. Ready for connection that doesn't confuse. Ready for partnership that builds and blesses. You won't have to explain why you needed time to heal. They'll understand. They'll listen to your silence and not take it personally. They'll learn your rhythms. Because real love wants to know the real you. And yes, you may still have days where old memories tap on your shoulder. That's normal. It doesn't mean you're not healed. It means you're human. And I'll be right there when they come. Whispering truth again. Holding your heart again. Covering the scar again. I don't shame you for still feeling things. I celebrate you for not letting those feelings chain you. That's freedom. That's power. That's what being whole feels like. You'll wake up soon and smile for no reason. You'll catch your reflection and say, there you are. I missed you. That's me in you. That's your spirit returning home. And someone will see that light and want to protect it, not control it. They'll speak love in your language, not just in words, but in action. Not just in passion, but in presence. You've cried long enough. Now you will laugh again. And this time, it won't be forced. It will flow, like water through healed places, like wind through open doors, like oil on something sacred. And when you walk into the room, you'll carry glory, not grief. You'll carry discernment, not desperation. You'll carry peace, not the residue of pain, because you've been made new. The curse is not just broken. The blessing has been released. Can you feel it? The shift has already begun. You're not who you were when they left. You're not stuck in the same soul space anymore. You're rising, even if it's slow, even if it's quiet. You're rising, and I'm walking with you, step by step, breath by breath. Because you didn't just survive the curse they left behind, you reversed it. Every tear you cried, it watered the soil for your next season. Every night you sat in silence, asking why, it was planting depth in your soul. And now the roots are ready. Now the harvest begins. You're stepping into a season where favor finds you. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to force it. You won't have to explain why you deserve it. It will just come. And it won't feel like pressure. It'll feel like peace. People will start showing up with answers you didn't ask for. Doors will open that should have stayed shut. Rooms you were locked out of. Suddenly your name will be called. Because I've seen your faithfulness in the dark. I've seen your prayers when no one else was listening. And I never forgot. Even when you felt forgotten. Even when they discarded you. Even when you wondered if I had gone silent. I was working behind the scenes, preparing what eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard, but your spirit knew. You could feel it, that something greater was still waiting, that this couldn't be the end of your story. You were right. It's not the end. It's the emergence of the real you, the whole you, the crowned you. You won't have to compete anymore. You won't have to explain why you needed healing. The ones I send will honor your journey, and those who walked away, they'll watch what I do with your life. Not in revenge, but in revelation. Because when I bless you, it's never just about you. It's about every person who thought the breaking would break you. It's about every spirit that hoped you would stay small, but you didn't. And now the reward is coming. So listen carefully. There's something unusual coming into your life soon. It might look small, a voice message, an envelope, an offer, a new idea out of nowhere. It won't seem big at first, but it's the seed of something supernatural. So don't dismiss it. Don't rush past it. Ask me, Lord, is this you? And I'll show you with peace. You'll know, because your heart won't race. It'll rest. That's the sign. That's how heaven moves, through peace. And when you feel that stillness, speak this phrase out loud. Favor 606, because 606 is the number of divine favor following divine alignment. You're in alignment now. No more tugging. No more chasing. No more striving for what doesn't fit. You are in position to receive. And if this word, if this message, if this entire healing journey has touched you, then let me keep guiding you. Subscribe, not just for content, but for connection. Let me keep speaking to you, child. Let me keep healing you in layers. Let me keep showing up where they left you empty, because there is still more I want to say, and you're ready now. No longer bitter, no longer begging, no longer broken, just open. That's where the power lives. In your openness, in your yes, in your ability to believe that something beautiful can come after something so painful. Because it can, and it will. You'll find love again. One that's not rushed, one that's not confusing, one that doesn't carry the scent of trauma. You'll create again, write, speak, move, building. You'll wake up with clarity instead of heaviness. You'll feel me in the small things again, the breeze, the birdsong, the moment of stillness before the day begins. That's how you'll know. The heaviness has lifted, the curse has no more voice, only I do, and my voice is declaring over you, you are rising. This isn't just survival, it's the start of something sacred. They didn't leave peacefully, child, but I'm giving you peace anyway, because no one can curse what I've already claimed, and I've claimed you completely. This is it, my child, the final shift, the final breath of the past leaving your chest. This is the moment the curse ends, not just spiritually, but emotionally, mentally, physically, because I'm not just healing your memories, I'm giving you a new name, a new identity, a new beginning, a new atmosphere around your life. They left a curse, yes, but I turned it into a crown. They walked out, but I stepped in, and now your story is mine. I'm the author. I'm the finisher. And what I finish, hell can't touch. Not anymore. You've learned what needed to be learned. You've shed what needed to fall. You've cried what needed to cleanse. And now I say this, rise. Not slowly, not fearfully, but boldly. Like someone who knows who they are. Like someone who's been through the fire and came out glowing. You are not the same. You don't speak the same. You don't think the same. You don't feel the same. Because I have made you new. And the curse they left behind, it couldn't follow you here. It's been cut off, burned out, overwritten by my hand. That ache in your chest, it's dissolving. That heaviness in your spirit, it's lifting. Because this is the divine turnaround. This is where you start dreaming again, believing again, loving again, not with brokenness, but with vision. I'm showing you what's ahead now, a place where your peace won't be temporary, a relationship that doesn't trigger your survival mode, a life that feels like you finally exhaled. This is where joy becomes your new language. This is where ease returns to your path. Not because the world gets easier, but because you got stronger. You stopped waiting for an apology. You stopped begging for closure. You stopped asking people to see what only I can confirm. And because of that, you're walking into harvest. You're walking into overflow. You're walking into places that once rejected you. And this time, your name will be honored. You'll sit at tables where you used to be overlooked. You'll receive invitations you didn't ask for. You'll be remembered by those who once forgot. Because I'm bringing justice to your name, but not revenge. No, child, I don't do revenge. I do redemption. I don't humiliate. I elevate. And I'm elevating you now, in silence, in power, in purpose. You will no longer explain your healing to those who couldn't hold your heart. You will no longer question your worth. Even on your quiet days, you'll walk in assurance now. Not arrogance, assurance. Because you've been through what many don't survive. And you didn't just live through it. You lit up from it. That's what oil does. That's what pressure produces. That's what heaven grows in the place of heartbreak. And soon, you'll stand in a room and suddenly realize you're not thinking about them anymore. You're not wondering what went wrong. You're just present, whole, open, healed. That's the sign. That's how you'll know the story has turned. You'll feel joy without guilt, rest without regret, hope without hesitation. And in that moment, speak this aloud. Glory 11:10. Because 11:10 is the number of new divine beginnings sealed by the hand of God. It means what ended has been used to launch what begins now. This is not the same chapter. This is not the same you. This is the version of you I always saw, unchained, unshaken, unashamed. This is the you I died to redeem, the you I rose to raise, the you I anointed while they misunderstood. And now, I'm sending you, not back into the past, but forward. And now you walk in freedom. Now you walk in fire. Now you walk in the fullness of who I made you to be. It is done. You are released. The curse has no more name in your life. I bless you. I cover you. I go before you. And from this moment forward, you will never settle again. In my name, Amen.